it's Horsey Steph, and today I am back with Horse Trainer Reacts to Heartland, your absolute favorite and quickly becoming my favorite series as well. Today we are finishing off Season 1, Episode 3 of Heartland, and I just can't wait to see how it finishes. It's been such a good jam-packed episode so far. Unlike episode 2 where I felt like not a lot went on and I got kind of bored, this one I'm thrilled to keep watching. It's so interesting. If you guys could go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for future videos, that would help me out a ton. And let's go ahead and jump on in and see how the episode ends.
She fought against firm handling with aggression, and the stronger people got with her, the more aggressive she became.
That's absolutely accurate. When you have a horse that is used to having this soft, gentle approach and you get aggressive, their first thought is like, oh my god, what is this? Then they brace and they're gonna tap into their natural fear instinct because they don't know what to do with it. It's one of the things with like a lesson horse, for example. You have to train them to understand how to accept harshness, because students, especially beginners, are sometimes gonna be bigger with their aids and uncoordinated with their aids, which a horse could perceive as threatening. My gelding London, for instance, I would never use as a traditional lesson horse. While I've put people on him, it's always been in very controlled situations, and riders I know with riders I know aren't going to get big with him, because he would respond by bracing and panicking and probably completely spazzing. Other horses could respond with aggression. He's just not that kind of personality. But when a horse is used to being treated a certain way and having an open line of communication, and you just shut that down and are like, I'm gonna force you to do this, I mean, they're gonna respond the same way a person would. They're gonna be like, oh my god. And then when it continues, that oh my god freeze is going to turn into reaction, whether that's a spook, blowing up, aggressive, whatever it looks like for that horse, whatever their inclination is to do when they panic.
We just let them speak to us.
And isn't that the magic of horse whisperers? Nobody whispers to horses. That's a complete myth, but what people perceive as horse whispering is really just listening, watching, observing, and creating safety through your own actions or non-actions, that willingness to allow things to happen and giving up control so the horse can have some autonomy.
Why don't you show us how you can fix him?
Just because you can fix behavioral issues doesn't mean you can wave a magic wand and suddenly the horse is better. I think that is so disrespectful to both the trainer and the horse, honestly. You have a horse that has a real problem. It needs time to work through it. Nobody can just magically fix a horse. That doesn't exist. I don't care how good you are. Horses don't go from horrible to perfect in the blink of an eye just because you worked your little voodoo magic. Not a thing. Even if we start talking about like real woo-woo craziness, even people that are like way more into that than I am, and I'll fully admit I move more into that woo-woo-ness every day, even then, they never ever claim they can wave a magic wand and things are all better. Even people that are like really out there understand that it takes time, and honestly the biggest secret in horses and all of those trainers that people are like, wow, it's just magic, is that they can breathe and allow. It's really, you want one magic thing you can do with horses that makes the biggest difference, breathe and allow. So this is totally ludicrous and ridiculous. I have no doubt that Amy could probably fix the horse that stops at fences, but not overnight. It doesn't happen.
Okay. All right.
I would never do that. I don't care how much pressure Amy feels right now. I would never agree to get on and show a crowd how I fix a horse that refuses at fences in the moment. Because to me, the refusal problem probably lies so far away from getting on and approaching a jump that I would want to just have the luxury of time and space to listen, work with the horse, see how the horse responds to its whole environment, me, my aids, etc., before I got on, much less attempted to jump the horse. So already I am seeing a horse that looks upset, tense, worried. A horse doesn't look particularly relaxed and easy. It makes me think again that the problems we're running into are so far removed from jumping. You can see how when she asks this horse to go, his ears go back, he's upset. Again, is this have anything to do with jumping, or is it really just the horse is upset and uncomfortable with being ridden, perhaps just being handled in general, and when you fill that cup of worry up so far, it overflows and he stops? That would be my guess. I'm gonna assume this horse is worried, not really sure how to respond to the aids, upset about everything, and the jump is just that straw that broke the camel's back, and repeatedly the straw that broke the camel's back that just sends him into overwhelm and he can't handle it anymore. I don't know why she agreed to do that. I saw that coming from the moment she got on the horse. It seemed like the horse was not in a position to jump, and again, I think as a trainer, it can be hard to stick to your guns and not just do what the client asks you to do or what the spectator asks you to do, but it's really important that you hold to your values and aren't willing to compromise like this, because it's only going to get you hurt and it's not going to get you anywhere in training. Alright, so now she's gonna do a little bit of groundwork and then get back on, and I'm assuming try that jump again. Not a terrible idea. Again, I think you can't do just a little bit of groundwork. I think there's so much groundwork that needs to go into this horse, but I would have at least, at bare minimum, if I got suckered into doing this for God knows what reason, I would have at least done a tiny bit of groundwork before I got on and a tiny bit of flat work before I went to the fence, to at least have some idea where the horse's issues were, and if not work through them, at least try to work around what triggered this horse. It was better. He didn't stop as fast.
I think the horse is afraid of you guys.
That is certainly possible, that the horse would be more afraid of the spectators than the fence. Again, an example from my own life, my mare Lucy was deathly afraid of showing when I first started taking her to shows. Not because the environment scared her. I mean, she's a well-traveled mare. She doesn't mind going new places. But the people. Like, she couldn't go down the rail when there was somebody outside the arena because she was scared of the person. And obviously, there's a lot that goes into that. Lucy is scared of people in general. She doesn't like strangers. She doesn't like people walking by her in her stall. Lucy is in general scared of people. She doesn't like strangers. If you walk up to her and she has the choice of leaving, she'll leave. If you corner her in her stall, she might act aggressive because she's worried. So she's in general scared of people, and then you put people close to where she's working, and lots of people especially, she doesn't care for that. Gotten a lot better, but doesn't care for that. So it's certainly something that could be the case with this horse. She just asked how they were training this horse, and they said wrapping pole standard practice. A wrapping pole is where you have a person on each side of the fence As the horse jumps, the people pick up the pole to wrap or hit the horse with the pole to get them to jump cleaner and higher. Super inhumane, something you should never do, but certainly something that does unfortunately exist. However, nothing about wrapping a horse is going to get them more confident or more likely to jump. It's actually a great way to create a horse that refuses, bolts after fences, panics going over fences, basically all the problems with jumping, because you're making the jump scary. The horse can't trust he knows how to do the job. He's going to get in trouble for doing the job wrong and hurt for doing the job wrong, even when he does the job honestly correctly. So that could easily create this kind of problem. And if you have this kind of problem, I don't think there's a trainer in the world that would use a wrapping technique until the horse was at least consistently going over the fence. I mean, at least. If you're gonna do it, wait until you have the horse going, then convince him the fence is scary, and then convince him to go over it again. Sounds like you're gonna have a very traumatized horse after all that, but like, at least use logic, right? The lunge widths behind the horse, like we saw earlier, which is not wrapping, totally different, is at least more logical in an attempt to force the horse to go over the jump. At least you are applying more pressure in the correct direction. So, as much as I already said I don't love that, it's at least logical.
Okay, clear the field.
Alright, third time's the charm, right? You can see from this shot that the horse's eye is wide. You can see the white in it. Just taking the time to reassure the horse, tell the horse that we're gonna do this together, I'm gonna take care of you, provide that safe place, could get the horse over the fence. But as of this exact moment, his eye is still wide, so you're gonna have to work a little bit harder to get there. But I could see how this could get the horse over, especially a low, non-threatening obstacle. God, the build-up on that was crazy, and it surprises me that horse dragged and touched that pole with his back foot, especially if they had indeed wrapped him. I would think he'd be more prone to overjump. A horse that hits jumps or doesn't put effort in to really clear a jump is generally a horse that's not scared of jumps, not threatened by them, and a little bit too lazy over them. One that needs a little encouragement to strive for more and do a cleaner job. It is not fitting with a horse that stops. That would be pretty rare to see. Dog stealing the food. That's something my dog would absolutely do. He's terrible, actually. I have two dogs, and the one likes to bark when people come into the barn, which is super obnoxious, but I'm not there enough to fix it. So anyway, it happens. And if you're eating and she sees somebody and jumps up to bark, he'll try to steal the food. He's like, now's my chance. You're distracted by the other dog. Now's my chance to steal your food. He's just terrible. He would absolutely grab food off a corner of a table if you left it there and he could reach it. Wow, her dad did come, and instead of coming to talk to everyone or make a presence at the party, he went to see his horse. I personally can't imagine why he ever walked away from Pegasus and how he ever walked away from Pegasus, especially given that I'm pretty sure Pegasus was still injured and or traumatized from their accident together. But I see why Pegasus is the one he'd want to say hi to. I could absolutely see that, and it shows that he really is a good man, despite the fact that somehow he had a falling out with the family and moved out and basically disappeared.
I deal with it like an adult, but I don't see a man, so I suggest you leave.
I feel so bad for Lou because she invited her dad to this, and she was disappointed that he hadn't shown up. And in fact, he did show up. He just kind of hid in the barn, said hi to his horse, and now he's gonna get kicked out before he even gets to, you know, say hi to her and show that he did follow through on his promise and show up. Wow, I am just so excited about that episode. It was so good. I already can't wait to watch episode 4. I am so excited, but I promise to wait until I can watch it with you guys and share my reaction. I won't sneak ahead, even though I am actually quite tempted to. This show is really heating up and getting interesting, and I can see why people are so excited about it. Particularly episode 3 showed horsemanship I actually found pleasant to watch and was excited to see in more mainstream media. So that really made this show way more interesting to me. I was a little disappointed with how Amy worked with the Briar Ridge horse. I just feel like she definitely knew better, and she set herself up for failure and kind of made herself look like a fool a couple times, but I'm happy in the end she did listen to the horse and at least got it over the jump, even though, I mean, I hope she doesn't, and certainly no one else believes she fixed the horse. There was a lot more work that needed to go into that to fix the horse. But anyway, it was a really good episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be back tomorrow with another video. Not Heartland, because I only do that twice a week, but I will be back with something else tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.